Imagine yourself standing at the concession stand of a bustling cinema. The neon lights glow brightly, and the rich scent of buttered popcorn wafts through the air, triggering a sudden hunger. You've already promised yourself to be a disciplined consumer. I'll just get a small popcorn, no need for extra calories, and I definitely don't want to waste money. But then, the menu appears like a pre-arranged math problem. Small, $6. Large, $8. And right in the middle, medium, $7.50. In that moment, an ancient biological mechanism in your brain kicks in. You do a quick mental calculation and feel like you've spotted a glitch in the system. Why buy a medium when it's only 50 cents more for a bucket twice the size? You spend the $8 and walk away feeling like a winner, a savvy consumer who just hacked the system. But the bitter reality is, you didn't win. You were just outmaneuvered by a sophisticated psychological tactic called the Decoy Effect. That $7.50 medium popcorn was never meant to be sold. It's a zombie option, a sacrificial lamb placed there solely to kill your original intention of spending $6. You just spent 33% more, all because of an illusion of value that marketers served to you on a silver platter. Why do we fall into this trap so easily? Because humans, in terms of evolutionary instinct, are creatures who are blind to absolute value. We lack an internal ruler to know how much an ounce of corn kernels or a gigabyte of data is truly worth from an objective standpoint. We are like seismographs that only react when there are vibrations from side-by-side reference points. This is where anchoring theory comes in. When a product stands alone, your mind asks, is it worth my money? But when there are three options, the question is instantly swapped for, which one is the better deal? Corporations have successfully shifted your focus from protecting your wallet to optimizing a fake math problem. The moment you start comparing menu options instead of your actual needs, that is the moment you become a pawn in their game. Look at how Apple prices the iPad or iPhone. They are master directors of this effect. They create irrational gaps between storage capacities to trigger psychological discomfort. The base 64GB model for $400 often makes you insecure, fearing you'll run out of space. The next tier, 256GB, costs $550, a painful $150 jump. But then they place a 512GB or a Pro model just slightly above that price point. They use the middle tier as leverage to push you to the top of the spending tower. You walk in planning to spend $400 and walk out with a $700 bill, yet you smile, thinking you were smart for getting more storage per dollar. This effect even creeps into life's biggest decisions, real estate. A seasoned broker will show you two houses. House A is beautiful for $500,000. House B, the decoy, is the same price or even $510,000, but is dilapidated and run down. House B exists only to make the flaws of House A vanish in your eyes. You stop being critical of House A. You just feel relieved that you don't have to buy House B. The presence of the bad accidentally grants a certificate of perfection to the ordinary. The decoy effect doesn't just take a few of your spare dollars. It is a primary driver of lifestyle creep. It is a silent leak in your budget. We upgrade our Netflix plans, buy extra cloud storage, or choose a venti size at Starbucks, not because we truly need more, but because we are haunted by loss aversion. Our brains perceive not taking the better deal on a large popcorn as a loss. We would rather spend extra money to avoid the feeling of being ripped off than keep that cash and settle for a just enough option. Corporations exploit this insecurity, turning us into collectors of phantom surplus value, while our actual bank balances dwindle. You buy the premium car because the monthly payment is only $30 more than the standard model. But do you really need that sunroof when you live in a smog-filled city? We are buying things we don't need with money we shouldn't spend to satisfy a comparative logic that doesn't even exist. How do you break free from this psychological maze? You need a new filter for your mindset. Hunt for the ugly brother. This is a term from behavioral psychology. When faced with options, always ask yourself, which one here was born just to be a backdrop? If an option looks extremely unattractive, like the $7.50 popcorn or a print-only newspaper subscription, it's the decoy. Once you point your finger and call out the manipulator by name, its magic vanishes. Strike it out of your mind and go back to comparing the cheapest option with your actual needs. The vacuum principle. Determine the value of a product before looking at the price tag. If you decide 64 gigabytes is enough for your needs, stand your ground. Don't look to the right, don't do the math. Every calculation happening at the checkout counter is designed for you to lose. Don't bank on phantom savings. You can't use savings per ounce of popcorn to pay your electricity bill or invest in stocks. Only real dollars have value. Paying a bit more for exactly what you need is always a smarter choice than paying a bargain price for a heap of excess that you'll eventually throw in the trash. The modern world is a giant menu designed by the smartest minds to lead you down the path of maximum spending. The decoy effect is not just a sales trick, it is a tax on our lack of mindfulness and our instinct to compare. But starting today, you have the right to decline that game. True wealth does not come from how many bargains you buy, but from how much control you maintain over every dollar you earn. Have the courage to choose the small size if it's enough. Be wise enough to drive the base model car while maintaining a fully loaded bank account. Don't let a menu define your intelligence. Hold on to your dollars tightly because they are not just money. They are your time, your effort, and your freedom. Be the driver in a world of illusions. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. I really value your feedback, so please don't forget to leave a comment below to help me improve. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that like button. Thank you so much.